Have you ever felt like someone simply forgets what they did to you, as if it never happened? Broken promises, hurtful words, painful moments that you can't ignore. But for them, it's as if they never existed. Welcome. Today, we'll dive into the topic of narcissistic amnesia, one of the most bewildering and harmful tactics in relationships with narcissists. Do they really forget? Or is it just a strategy to manipulate you and maintain control? Stay with me, because this video might change the way you understand those situations that have left you confused and drained. Here, we'll uncover what lies behind this forgetfulness, which isn't as innocent as it seems. What is narcissistic amnesia? Narcissistic amnesia is a psychological mechanism where a narcissist appears to forget, or actually does forget, certain events that might tarnish the idealized image they have of themselves. For a narcissist, their self-image is crucial, and any memory that contradicts their perception of perfection may be erased, minimized, or reinterpreted. This forgetting isn't like typical memory loss. It's selective and serves a clear purpose: to protect their fragile ego from being compromised. This way, they can continue seeing themselves as flawless individuals, even when they've caused harm. In some cases, this amnesia may be unconscious. Narcissists genuinely believe they haven't done anything wrong or that their actions weren't as severe as others perceive them. This happens because their mind, as a defense mechanism, erases memories that are emotionally uncomfortable or contradict their personal narrative. However, in other instances, narcissistic amnesia is entirely conscious and used as a manipulative tactic. By denying events or twisting them to their advantage, they aim to confuse the other person, weakening their trust in their own perceptions. This dynamic is deeply destabilizing for those close to the narcissist, as it creates a constant atmosphere of uncertainty. When the narcissist conveniently forgets promises they made, mistakes they committed, or even painful situations they caused, it leaves you feeling as if you're imagining things. This not only reinforces their control over you but also protects them from accountability. Narcissistic amnesia, therefore, not only shapes their self-perception but also has devastating consequences for their interpersonal relationships. Why does it happen? Narcissistic amnesia is deeply tied to the narcissist's need to protect their self-image at all costs. To them, seeing themselves as perfect, successful, or morally superior is essential to maintaining their emotional balance. However, when their actions contradict this self-image, they experience cognitive dissonance, a mental discomfort that arises when their behavior doesn't align with their beliefs about themselves. The way they resolve this dissonance is simple. They erase or distort memories that don't serve them. This process might seem automatic, but it's driven by a profound inability to handle self-criticism. Moreover, narcissists often use projection as a tool to cope with their discomfort. Instead of acknowledging their mistakes, they blame others for what they themselves have done. For instance, if they made a promise and failed to keep it, they might accuse you of misunderstanding or being too demanding. This mechanism not only absolves them of any responsibility, but also reinforces their belief that the problems in their relationships are always someone else's fault. This pattern becomes a constant way of evading reality and maintaining control. It's also important to understand that this amnesia isn't always entirely conscious. In some cases, narcissists genuinely believe their own lies and distortions. Their mind is so focused on protecting their ego that they end up creating an alternate version of reality that benefits them. This dissociation from the truth can be so convincing that even they accept it as real. This makes dealing with them especially difficult, as they not only manipulate others but also themselves to keep their self-image intact. How does it manifest? Narcissistic amnesia can take several forms, but they all share a common goal: to protect the narcissist's narrative while leaving you confused and doubting your own memories. One of the most common manifestations is outright denial. The narcissist will simply claim something never happened, even if there's clear evidence to the contrary. This type of denial can be disorienting, making you feel like perhaps you're the one who's mistaken. It's not uncommon to start questioning yourself. even when you're certain about what happened. Another way it manifests is through minimization. In this case, the narcissist partially acknowledges what happened but dismisses it as insignificant. They'll tell you that you're overreacting, taking things too seriously, or making a big deal out of nothing. This approach is particularly effective because it blends a grain of truth with manipulation, leaving you feeling like maybe you don't have the right to feel upset. In the end, you end up justifying their behavior while they walk away guilt-free. A third manifestation is rewriting events. Here, the narcissist alters the details of what happened to cast themselves as the victim or hero of the situation. This not only reinforces their self-image but also places them in a position of moral superiority over you. For example, if you had an argument where they clearly hurt you, they might reinterpret it as a moment where they were just standing up for themselves because you attacked them first. This type of manipulation not only distorts reality but also leaves you feeling like you owe them an apology, even though you were the one who was hurt. The impact on interpersonal relationships. Narcissistic amnesia has devastating effects on relationships, as it prevents any possibility of resolving conflicts in a healthy way. When the narcissist consistently denies, minimizes, or reinterprets their actions, it becomes impossible to establish common ground for mutual understanding. This creates a toxic cycle where the same harmful dynamics repeat over and over. Since they refuse to acknowledge their mistakes, they don't learn from them, perpetuating the same destructive behaviors. This generates deep frustration in those around them, who feel that no matter how hard they try, nothing will change. Additionally, the constant use of narcissistic amnesia reinforces gaslighting, a form of psychological manipulation where the victim begins to doubt their own perception of reality. By denying what happened or altering the details, the narcissist plants seeds of insecurity in their partner, friend, or family member. The victim finds themselves questioning whether their memories are real or if they might be exaggerating, as the narcissist suggests. This confusion not only undermines the victim's self-confidence but also makes them more dependent on the narcissist to interpret reality. Over time, this dynamic erodes the victim's self-esteem and creates an unhealthy bond where emotional manipulation becomes normalized. The relationship turns into an uneven playing field where the narcissist holds all the control, while the other person loses clarity, security, and confidence. Narcissistic amnesia isn't just a tool to protect the narcissist's ego. It's also a way to keep the other person emotionally trapped with no way out. How to protect yourself and regain clarity. Dealing with a narcissist who uses narcissistic amnesia requires a combination of strategies to protect yourself and regain your emotional balance. The first step is to document what happens. Keeping a written record of important events, conversations, and agreements can be invaluable when the narcissist denies what occurred. Having something tangible to refer to will help you stand firm in your perception of events, even when they try to manipulate you. It's also crucial to trust your intuition and validate your own emotions. The narcissist may make you feel like you're wrong or overreacting, but your feelings are real and deserve respect. Instead of engaging in endless arguments where they try to convince you that you're mistaken, focus on your boundaries and what you need to protect your emotional well-being. Remember, it's not your responsibility to make them see the truth. That's an internal battle only they can face. Finally, seek external support. Talking to trusted people or a therapist specializing in narcissistic abuse can help you clarify your thoughts and rebuild your confidence. Emotional support and tools for handling manipulation are essential for breaking free from the toxic cycle the narcissist has created. In the end, recognizing these dynamics and prioritizing your mental health is the most important step to breaking the control narcissistic amnesia tries to exert over you. Now I'd like to hear your opinion and personal experience in the comments, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel.